convention to order, and just so you know, I can't see any of you. That light is so bright up here, that's the only thing I can see right now. So, let there be less light. Very good. I'd like to, on behalf of the 11th District Republican Party, call the convention to order. I think that this is either the largest or maybe the second largest convention that I've done in the 20 years I've been doing this. And again, you heard from Michaela Reese from Haywood County. We have working with us today in the sound room, we have Cameron Carr, who is Ted Carr's grandson, for those of you from Haywood County that know Ted. And Cameron agreed to come in and work the sound booth for us today, and he'll be with us the rest of the day as well. I'm going to do some other introductions a little bit later. I promise to try to move the convention along, and we'll get over to the luncheon afterwards. Many of you have checked in for the luncheon. If you were able, if you called in with an RSVP or sent an email, thank you very much. I got over 130 of them. And for the luncheon, there's over 160 that I received for the convention itself. Most of you are staying for the luncheon, and we really appreciate it. And if you haven't checked in for the luncheon yet and haven't paid, that is important. We tried for FEC reasons to separate registration for very brief. First of all, again, I'd like to welcome all of you to the convention. And right off the bat, I'd like to extend a special welcome to the folks from the 10th District, from Mitchell and Avery and Burke and Caldwell counties. Welcome to the 11th District. Here today that have been in the 11th District for the last 10 years and they're moving over to the 10th. I'm sorry. But we would like to welcome everyone to the 11th District. This is our first district convention with the new districts in place. We now have 17 counties in the 11th District. And those 17 counties this year are going to elect a Republican congressperson. What we're here about today. We're here to retake the congressional seat from the 11th District, send a Republican to Washington. That won't be easy. Don't think that it's going to be simple. It won't be easy. We've got to get out and do the work. The grassroots organization has to be in place. The Democrats will fight and fight, but come election time, they'll be ready for us, and we have to be ready as well. We want to have organizations in place within your counties to get out the vote. We've got people that will be here with part of the victory effort from Raleigh. Roger Kumpf is going to be the regional director of the victory effort. He'll be in touch with many of you county chairs, probably already has, trying to organize get out the vote efforts and organize your counties in such a way that will maximize the Republican vote in the fall. Straight down the ticket. This is a critical election. Does anybody believe that we need to return Barack Obama to the White House? No. Do we need a Republican president in 2012? Yes. Did we need a Republican president for the last 4 years? Yes. We've got a congressional seat. We've got the presidential seat, governor, all the council of state. All the General Assembly. What a difference 2 years makes with the Republican General Assembly in Raleigh. My report to you is that we stand ready to go. We're going to get out and do the work that's necessary to elect Republicans this fall, and we need your help. We need the help of folks that couldn't make it here today but are with us in spirit. We're going to get out and do this work, and we're going to elect Republicans. And don't forget the judiciary. Yes. Don't forget the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals races in North Carolina. One seat separates the Supreme Court right now. I'm sure many of you have heard the phrase, Scooby-Dooby, vote for Newby. Yes. Remember that Paul Newby is running for re-election. and that we've got to remember the judicial races on the ballot. In some places, they may be on the back of the ballot. Don't forget the marriage amendment.
Yes.
The marriage amendment will be on the ballot in the primary, but not in the general election. This is the vote on the marriage amendment. It's taking place on May the 8th. There's not a second vote coming up later. I want to implore upon you, in some counties, I don't know that this is true in all, but in my county, for instance, there is one race that's on the back of the ballot, on the Republican ballot. It's the marriage amendment. It's on the back of the ballot in my county. On the Democrat ballot, it's on the front. So remember to turn the ballots over. Remember to find that amendment at the end of the ballot and vote on that on May the 8th. Now, in closing,
voter ID.
The voter ID. Voter ID is an issue that's before the General Assembly. I heard Speaker Tillis say about 2 to 3 weeks ago that, that might just come up again.
Good.
And
handouts that will be going around and either here or in the dinner. It's a urge for people to sign and mail in.
And that's Norm Roberts from Macon County. He's got some handouts regarding voter ID. He'll be passing those out here during the convention or the dinner. Okay. One last thing, and then Dr. Stern, with your permission, I'm going to do the treasurer's report as well. It comes next on the agenda. A couple things that I want to do here today. I want to thank Robin Ramsey, the vice chair from the 11th District, who has done yeoman's work for this district. Now, why am I doing this? She's one of the ones going to the 10th, folks. Robin has been moved into the 10th. I have a movement afoot in Raleigh to go in and annex her house and put it back in the 11th. I don't think Patrick McHenry is going to let me do that. But Robin has done a terrific job, and this is her last day as the 11th District Vice Chair.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Resolution coming up a little bit later, so you'll understand why I'm mentioning that right now when you see the resolution that's submitted by the Resolutions Committee concerning a favorite of ours in the 11th District for years. And finally, I want to thank a group. They don't know I'm going to do this, and I'm going to embarrass them a little bit. We've got 3 members here today from the Tuscola High School Teenage Republican group. Right there. This is what it's about. This election is about the future of the country and the future of the people in this country. And those folks right there exemplify why we need to get out and do this work, and they're willing to go out and work with us. It's not easy for folks to be teenage Republicans in a high school, and they're doing it, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for coming here today. Now, for the treasurer's report, Bobby Williamson, I call him Bobby, Robert Williamson is a CPA. He is our district treasurer. He does a terrific job at that, and the fact that he's a CPA on April the 14th means that he's doing income taxes today. He doesn't have much hair left, and he's pulling out what little he's got. So he's not with us, but I want to let you know that we do have money in the bank. I'd prefer not to go into details about it, just the fact that we've got money in the bank. We did well at the Golden Elephant Awards dinner, raised several $1,000s at that dinner. Those of you that were there that day, thank you very much. The money will come in handy, and we will use it wisely. The people that remember the caterer from that dinner, they're going to cater this here today. And I think it was very good back then. They'll be here with us again today. So that would be the treasurer's report. Dr. Stern, let me take one quick look at the agenda. Okay. What I would like to do right now, while the Credentials Committee is presented, and then you go through a few items having to do with minutes and rules and the plan of organization, is this. There is a lot of interest in the Republican National Convention in Tampa. A great deal. I've never seen this kind of interest before. The 11th District will elect 3 delegates to that convention and 3 alternates. And a number of people have expressed an interest in that. If you're here today and you're interested in being a delegate to that convention, I would ask that you meet me in the back of the room. We're going to go outside into the hall for just a few minutes. I need to go through some details with you and explain what's involved. I've got some stuff from the RNC that you need to know about before we have the election for that. So with the chair's permission, I'll excuse myself for a moment, take care of that business, and then we'll be back.
Very good, Dave.